Mercedes is crushing Ferrari and every other team in Formula 1 at the start of the 2020 season, and Ferrari only has itself to blame. Not just because its car clearly has its own problems, but because of the impact Ferrari's engine tricks last season have had on Mercedes' performance this year. Another dominant victory for Lewis Hamilton in the Hungarian Grand Prix cemented Mercedes' advantage early in 2020, and only some quirky circumstances have denied us Silver Arrows 1-2 at each race so far. Before we go any further, a huge thank you to everyone who has supported this channel and helped us pass 300,000 subscribers. If you haven't already, please do so and give this video a like if you like what you see. But now let's dive into the role Ferrari has played in creating an even more dominant Mercedes and just how far ahead the champion team really is. Mercedes' 2020 package is clearly the pick of the bunch, with a very strong chassis married to an engine that has made such progress this year it has completely surprised its rivals. This can be traced back to 2019 and Mercedes' off-track response to what was happening on track. You may remember the run of Ferrari pole positions that heaped increasing scrutiny on its 2019 engine's legality and made its rivals pretty angry about what they were seeing. Eventually, the rule makers went to great lengths to clamp down on the potential for fuel flow manipulation and burning oil for performance gains, with the first clarification along these lines issued before the 2019 United States Grand Prix. Ferrari's qualifying form immediately dipped, and the team didn't score a pole position across the final few races. These clarifications have since continued with the requirement of a second fuel flow meter added to the cars for 2020, and perhaps it's completely coincidental, but Ferrari now has a much slower engine. Mercedes wasn't leaving anything to chance though. The engine division redoubled its efforts in the face of Ferrari's eyebrow-raising progress and pushed itself to new extremes. Team boss Toto Wolff even said it took Mercedes to almost burnout last year to develop and innovate in a way to be competitive on track. He says that what this has led to is a substantial jump in performance, and rather satisfyingly, he finds that quite ironic. Ferrari has tried to claim that these FIA technical directives have held back other manufacturers as well, but there's no evidence that that's the case, and Honda, Renault and of course Mercedes have all said that's not true. So Ferrari's not only made itself weaker, it's made its fiercest competitor even stronger. Of course, Mercedes hasn't only focused on its engine, and its dominance of the V6 turbo hybrid era has been complemented and sustained because of the quality of its car as well. Hamilton pointed to the improved performance of the W11 in the faster corners at the Hungaroring as indicative of the gains Mercedes has made since last year. His pole position time was more than a second faster than the quickest Mercedes lap in qualifying for 2019, and Hamilton described the fact that he could take the turn 11 right-hander close to flat out as insane. While the Hungaroring is regarded as mostly a slow circuit, it also features plenty of corners where modern F1 cars can carry significant speed, and Hamilton also talked up the pace of the Mercedes in the turn 8-9 left and right that follows the chicane, as well as the turn 4 left-hander at the top of the hill. Its high-speed cornering performance contributed to its advantage at the Red Bull Ring as well, and although Hamilton says there is a step in slow and medium speed turns, the high-speed stuff is where he really reckons the car is a lot different. These gains are perhaps complemented by the dual-axis steering system that Mercedes has innovated for 2020 and given it a little extra edge in preparing its front tyre temperatures, and it all adds up to a car that gives its driver extreme confidence in qualifying, and that's where Mercedes' biggest advantage is at the moment. There was anticipation prior to the Hungarian Grand Prix that Red Bull would be much closer on a circuit that traditionally suits a car with good downforce. So it was a surprise to everybody, including Mercedes, when Max Verstappen qualified 1.4 seconds off the pace. The battle for pole position was solely between the Mercedes drivers, with Hamilton shading Valtteri Bottas by just about a tenth, and Verstappen only 7th, as Racing Point led the challengers in 3rd and 4th. In the race, Hamilton romped clear and was so much faster that he had a pit stop in hand and was able to change to soft tyres near the end to get the bonus point for fastest lap. Behind him, Bottas was able to recover from a bad start to finish 3rd with relative ease. He wasn't able to get back ahead of Verstappen, and that was about the only consolation for anyone hoping Mercedes can be stopped. Mercedes reckons it might have been flattered in Hungary by cooler conditions and insists the gap isn't as big in race trim as we've seen on Saturdays. And as is tradition, the team's refusing to get carried away with its performance so far. But a bleak picture has been painted by F1 2020's first 3 races, given the expectation we had of a mega title fight. Ferrari's let itself down by building a mediocre car and engine, but it seems we can also blame it for the key role it's played in making the best team in F1 even better. So that's the scope of Mercedes' progress for 2020 and the ironic role Ferrari has played. What do you make of the pecking order so far, and do you think Mercedes' performance is just reward for how it handled Ferrari's controversial form last season? Let us know in the comments below, give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already to join us again next time.